sleep. Jokester prowls in secrets deep. His laughter cuts like a chilling wind. A nightmare's grin where the dark begins. He whispers low in the coldest air, a devil's game. Do you dare? His eyes gleam red, his smile unkind. Jokester waits inside your mind.
Hi, my name is DAR. I am the author of the book Jokester, which is basically the genre of my book is what they refer to as a Gothic literature, sort of a cross current between with terror and horror, and it's basically also regarded as a factional story, because basically it's a combination. A mix of both fictional, of course the basis of the story is fictional, but then it has elements of historical fact as well, such as historical events, dates, places, and various historical figures. Then of course, thrown in the mix, you have elements of horror and terror as well. In any event, basically, now as to what brought me to, or what inspired me to write this story. The wife and I, over the years, have made frequent visits to the beautiful city of Aberystwyth, and it was during one of our visits that we visited the local museum, the Colosseum Museum, and it was. Of course, for those who aren't aware of what the Colosseum is, the Colosseum Museum is basically a former theater, and it's been converted to a museum, and it's made of 2 floors, and each floor dedicated and is basically sectioned off different sections, each section devoted or committed to or reflecting a certain period in time of the city's history. And, it covers various areas, agriculture, farming, fashion, toys, furniture, and so on. And it was on one of these occasions when, as we were on the second floor, and we found our way in the toy section, and it was at this time we were looking around at all the toys and everything, and had this eerie feeling that something was watching me or something. So anyway, I was looking around, and everything, and all the toys, and all of a sudden I looked up, and it was then that my eyes caught the eyes of this very, very old, basically court jester mannequin or puppet, and it was actually perched on the end of this shelf, and amongst other puppets and toys, dolls, and it was just kind of like looking down at me, and so I kind of looked up at it, and it was very old. Like I said, I mean, gosh, it could have been the early 1900s or whatever. And just kind of looking there, looking at me, and just a smile on his face. And so all of a sudden I have this, this epiphany or whatever, this vision came. It was almost like a film reel, and a newsreel, whatever. It was just sort of like just playing out in front of me. And this whole story just came out. Of course, I was already previously well versed in the history of the theater, and of course Aberystwyth, and even more importantly, the castle in Aberystwyth. And so I put all these together. All these elements were coming together, and I made this story in my mind. And so, I couldn't wait to get home, and start putting everything down. I get to my computer, and so that's what I did. And so, hence here we are, blah, as they say. The story of the jokester was born. And so, yeah, this is basically now. And there it is. In case anybody can see out there, there it is, jokester. And like I said, it's a book of fictional. It's a fictional tale. It's both historically accurate information, but also it's has elements of fiction. Of course, the basis of it is fiction, and it's a book of horror and terror. It's but not quite what you would expect. It's if anybody was to ask me what other horror film or terror film and terror I could associate it with, or in similarity, I'd say it was probably very close to the kind of like the Freddy Krueger type of feel, if you will. And so, it's at the risk of sounding biased, I think it's a really incredible story. It's very unique. It's very novel. And of course, it's in the entire setting. The story takes place entirely in Aberystwyth, Wales. The castle and other surrounding areas in the area, but primarily, right there, Aberystwyth. And so, it's So definitely, I think it's something that's worth taking a look at. Now, before I close, I would like to read a small or short dedication, if you will, if I may, which I'm putting. It's at the beginning, beginning pages of my the opening pages of my book. It's sort of a passage I put in there, dedicating it to Aberystwyth and the wonderful people of Aberystwyth, the locals. And so, let's see, let's open this baby up. Okay. Now, please forgive me. I tried to be poetic, as it were. So, anyway, so I wrote it down in a poetic style, if you will, form. So here we go.
From the harbor's facelift to the mound standing tall, a call to wander, to explore, answering nature's call, the Youthworth whispers secrets as it gently winds along. The Youthworth whispers a familiar, comforting song. But more than landscapes, more than beauty meets the eye, it's the heart of Aberystwyth, where true treasures lie. Diversity is the anthem, a song they proudly sing, against the hate, the shadows, the joy that darkness bring. A zero-tolerance stance, a principle held tight, the townspeople themselves standing for what is just and right. I've walked these cobbled pathways, felt the breeze upon my face, and found within the people a kindness and a grace. A welcome mat unrolled for every soul that seeks Aberystwyth, a home for weeks, or just a few quick peeks. And in this haven nestled a place both grand and old, the Glengower Hotel, a story to be told. Exquisite service, charming staff, a comfort I embrace. A touch of history lingers within this special place. Sir John Williams' shadow, a whisper in the air. Jack the Ripper's mystery, a chilling tale to share. Before the Glengower Snowdland lodging stood, a witness to the ages, misunderstood and good. Aberystwyth, more than just a pretty view, an intellectual heartbeat, vibrant, strong, and true. The university stands tall, its doors flung open wide, students from around the world with knowledge as their guide. Festivals bloom like wildflowers, art exhibitions gleam, literary echoes linger, a vibrant waking dream. So come, dear wanderer, to Aberystwyth, I plead, immerse yourself in culture, plant a hopeful seed, feel the Welsh embrace, the history unfold. A magical experience, a story to be told. Aberystwyth, a jewel, a gem within the West, a memory etched forever, a feeling truly blessed, a beacon of inclusion, a haven for the soul.
Okay, and so that's that. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and thank you for watching. This is DAR, over and out.